Hi everyone. I decided to do this video to tell my truth, and in telling my truth, I hope to spread awareness. So, I'm on day 10 of quarantine. Um, I'm feeling 10 times better than how I felt when I first started this quarantine. The reason why I want to spread awareness is because I've been on social media, because stuck inside this room for 10 days with nothing to do but social media. And in my boredom, I've came across a whole bunch of posts of people not social distancing, um, people not taking it seriously. Now that we're on this curfew, people are talking about having sleepovers, still out and about, and still helping to spread the disease. In telling my truth, maybe I'll help someone else, and if I help that one person, the trickle-down effect can affect so many other lives. So it would have been worth it. My symptoms started, I want to say, about 14 days ago. About 14 days ago, my throat started to feel itchy, and I had a cough. But I didn't think much of it. You know, I wasn't taking this stuff seriously. I was like, well, I don't know anybody affected. It's not affecting me, and I'm not scared, and nothing's going to stop me from living my life. You only have one life to live. YOLO. Well, about the third day, Tuesday, well, no, take that back. On Saturday, I went to Louisiana. I had a trip already planned to see a comedy show. And they had canceled the comedy show, but since I still had reservations for the room, I still kept it. So I kept the reservations, went to the room, and that night is when my symptoms, I started coughing a little bit more. Still wasn't taking it seriously. I'm like, must be allergies or something. You know, besides the cough, it wasn't anything else. I wasn't feeling tired. I wasn't feeling sick. I wasn't feeling nauseated or any of that. So then fast forward to Tuesday night, I caught a fever, and I was coughing more and more, and it was taking my breath away. I told myself then, I said, if I wake up and I'm still feeling like this, then I'm going to go to the doctor. So when I woke up the next day, it was worse. So I said, I'm going to go to the this immediate care by where I stay at, the flu and cold clinic, I believe it is. And I know they were doing free testing there. So I went there and I got tested. They told me that it would, first they told me that I didn't fit the criteria, so that they weren't going to test me. So they weren't going to test me. But my wheezing was bad at that time. And once they ran some kind of test, they tested me for pneumonia and just took my blood and ran some tests. They came back and they said, we're going to go ahead and test you for COVID. And I said, okay. They told me it would take up to 5 days for the result. So, told me then that I would have to be isolated. They gave me some prescriptions. They said you can treat the symptoms, but you can't, treat the disease. So at that time, they put me on some steroids, an inhaler, and something for cough. So I walked to my house from the clinic because by that time I was afraid, and plus it's right across the street from my house, and I didn't want to get in the car and contaminate anything in the car, especially since my kids were going to be driving the car. Came home, and from Wednesday to Monday, my symptoms just progressively got worse. The heaving that you see me doing now was nothing. The feeling that you feel when you're trying to, and it's involuntary. It's like any strenuous activity takes your breath away. Anything strenuous. If I get excited and I try to yell at my children, my breath is gone. If I'm calling a bill collector, trying to dispute a bill, and I get upset, my breath is gone. And I got to the point where I couldn't hold a conversation without losing my breath and wheezing. It's scary. When you're sitting here, I can't talk to my children. I haven't talked to my children in 10 days. They can only go to the hallway and sit my food at the door. I wait till they clear the hallway, and then I get my food. You look on social media and you see videos of doctors and nurses describing that wheezing of trying to catch your breath, and then it gets to a point where you're trying to catch your breath and you pass away. And then they say 1 minute you're fine, then the next minute you're not. And with something like this and it's unknown, and then you're still sitting here waiting for your results, but all you know is one day I was fine, going to the gym every day, treadmill 45 minutes, working out for 30 minutes. Next minute, I can't even breathe. Can't take a shower without sitting in a shower chair. You can do nothing but remain totally calm. Anything other than total calmness takes your breath away. So fast forward to Monday. I was on Monday. Monday, I was supposed to get my test results back. So when 3 o'clock hit and I hadn't heard anything, I called the clinic. And it probably looks on camera harder than, worse than it seems, but I promise you I'm feeling 10 times better, especially for my family out of town who may be concerned. I just want to show everyone how serious this is. And if you don't have a strong immune system, if you have anybody that you love, that you know is suffering from lupus, cancer, anything that suppresses your immune system, if you have any elderly people in your family that you love, then do them a favor and just stay home for these 2 weeks or however. And what's the worst? I hear people on Facebook talking about that they're not scared, and how you gonna let something that the government put in bring you, and all type of just nonsense. My thing is, whether that's the case or not, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that we can all do our parts to help. I do know that someone had to give this to me because I didn't have it at first. Now I got it. So anyway, Monday, called for my results. They said my results hadn't came in, but how I was sounding on the phone, they advised me to come back to the clinic. So I came back to the clinic, and they told me that the place where they shipped my results out was 2 weeks behind schedule. And so if I wanted to have another test, this test, it costs money, but you can get your results. Some people were getting their results in 24 to 48 hours. And by that time, I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk without wheezing, and I was terrified at that time. So, of course, money, I'm not considering a dollar at this time. I want to know what I have, and I want to get better. So, I told him to go ahead and take the test. And the test is horrible to take anyway. They take a long, skinny little, look like little bitty toothpicks, and they stick it all the way up your nostrils. I say it goes up about I want to say it touched my eyeball, but I know that's over exaggerating, but it feels like that. And they have to do it on both sides. And so then I got the other test, and then the doctor came in and talked to me and said, at this time we're going to treat you like you do have the coronavirus, and we want you to make sure that you report to the hospital if your symptoms get worse. They had tested my oxygen level. It was low. At that time, it was at a 90. They told me that all they can do is treat the symptoms, and since it was marginal, was the word that they used, to go back and just monitor my breathing. My thing, as I was sitting here in my head, when I returned back to my room, how can I monitor my breathing? When I went to you on Monday, I didn't even know that my oxygen level was low. I just knew that I had a lot of wheezing, and so how would I measure if it got any lower? But anyway, after I came on Monday, my symptoms started to get a little bit better. I was like, okay, I think I got this. Maybe I got this. But then overnight, just like that, it just got 10 times worse again. It was horrible. At that time, I contacted the doctor, and he told me that he wanted me to admit myself. I weighed my pros and cons. And I said, if I go to the hospital, no one's going to want to treat me or touch me because everybody's scared of the disease anyway. Doctors, they're doing an amazing job. Nurses are doing an amazing job, but they're tired. Everybody's tired, and everybody's scared because everybody doesn't know what to expect. One minute they say wear masks. One minute they say don't wear masks because only the people affected should wear masks, and the healthcare professionals. Then they say that that the studies that states that if you exhale, that it can be transmitted in the air. So now they want everyone to wear masks. So at this time, it's new. Data is being analyzed every day, and they're coming up with different assumptions every day. So no one knows. So why stay in a place where I'm going to be isolated from my family, and there's really nothing you can do anyway? The only way you're going to put me on a ventilator if I go into respiratory failure. And other than that, I already have my medications at home to treat the symptoms. So I decided, against my doctor's advice, to stay at home and continue to tough it out. Fast forward to today, going on this is day 10, and I am doing a lot better. Before, there would be no way that I would have been able to stay on this phone for 14 minutes now and talk to you. There would be no way. But I promised myself that I didn't want to make this video long. I just wanted to tell everybody, because a lot of times people do stuff not because of a malicious intent or anything, because I know everyone out there loves their children just like I love my children. You love your family, you love your loved ones. I mean, I know this. But when it's not, when you don't see someone that you know that is going through something, it's hard to believe that it's actually true or it's actually real, or how real this is. And I just want to let everyone know that this is not easy at all. This is scary. So do your part. Stay at home and chill for 2 weeks. And when I mean stay at home, that means stay with your immediate family. If you live by yourself, stay in the house by yourself. If you live with you and your kids, stay in the house with you and your kids. If you live in the house with you, your kids, your roommate, and your mother, then stay in the house with you, your kids, your roommate, and your mother. That doesn't mean have sleepovers and invite people over and continue to do stuff. Think about, if you don't want to think about yourself, because I don't care about other people's business. You can do what you want to do, and I think that's how everybody feels. But just think about others. The only reason that I'm even making this live because I have family that I care about, and people not following the rules are affecting my family members. And I would hate to see any of my cousins or my aunts or anybody succumb to something that they didn't have to succumb to because someone just didn't stay in the house. So, to my out-of-town family, I'm doing fine. Y'all can stop worrying. I love and miss you, y'all. And everyone else, be safe.